Hey, what's up, guys? Here's my AFC East preview for the 2022 2023 2023 NFL season. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go team by team, looking at their schedule, and then predicting the number of wins for them. And at the end of all 8 of these videos, I'm going to do a playoff preview as I see it. So, without further ado, let's rock and roll. And I'm going to start with Miami. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is the first time I'm looking at this, and Miami has a really tough beginning of the season. They start with the Pats, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Bengals. The first 4 games of the season. So I could see them losing to New England. Baltimore should be better than they were last year, but so that could be a loss. And then you got Buffalo, which is favored to win the division by most people, so that's probably a loss considering their the number of weapons they have. And then you have the Bengals, so that's probably a loss considering the Bengals are your defending AFC champions. So, out of your first 4 games for the Finns, I see potentially 4 losses. Which, needless to say, if I am right, that would be disastrous for them. And the next, let's do this in 4s. The next 4 are at the Jets, home against Minnesota, home against Pittsburgh, and at Detroit. Wow, that could make them 4-4 through 8 games, which would be weird. You know, I'm gonna call them 4-4 through 8 games. Next 4: Chicago, Cleveland, Houston, and San Francisco. I could see 4 wins for them again. Although it depends how good San Francisco is under Trey Lance. But so that's either going to be 8-5 or 7-4 for the Finns. And you're your final stretch of games for the Finns are at LA, at Buffalo, versus Green Bay, at New England, and they close versus the Jets. So I had them 7-5 rating. Or 8-4 going into this stretch. Obviously, they're going to beat the Jets, so that's either 9-4 or 8-5, depending on how good San Francisco is. But I see them losing to LA, losing to Buffalo, and losing to New England. especially in New England in January. I just don't see a warm weather team winning there. So that's either 8-9 or 9-8 for the Dolphins. So that's going to do it for the Dolphins preview. Let's move on to the Jets, since they're right in front of me. Wow, the first 3 games for the Jets are they open up with the Ravens, Browns, and Bengals. So I say they're going to lose to the Ravens. I'm going to say they beat the Browns without the Sean Watson. And then obviously they lose to the Bengals, so that's 1-2 start for the Jets. Then they're at the Steelers, which may or may not be competitive for them since the Steelers don't have Big Ben, but I think the Steelers still have enough to beat them, so that makes them 1-3. And I don't see them beating Miami, Denver, or Green Bay, so that makes them 1-6 or 0-7. And then they have New England and Buffalo, which I don't see them beating either one of them. So they could be 1-8 or 0-9, depending how good that Cleveland team in week 2 is. And then they have New England again in week 10, or 11. They had bye week 10, so that's a loss. And then Chicago could be interesting depending on how Justin Fields progresses for the Bears. So I'm going to say they win that one for win number 2. I'm going to say they lose to Minnesota because Minnesota should be significantly better this season without Mike Zimmer as the head coach and the offensive coordinator a lot less conservative. And then they have Buffalo, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle. I see them losing Buffalo. They could very well lose to the Lions because the Lions, everyone says they're going to be better this season with another season under Dan Campbell. So I'm going to say they lose that one too because I think Detroit will have something to play for in week, what is that, 15? And Jacksonville, they should lose to because I think Jacksonville is going to be significantly better under former Eagles coach Doug Peterson. And they've also made a lot of improvements to that team. And they finished out with Seattle. I think that game will have no bearing on anything, so they might win that one, but I only see 2 wins for the JETS. Jets. So 2 down, 2 to go for the AFC East. So let's look at the Pats since they're right in front of me. I want to see who their quarterback is real quick. Should be Mac Jones, and it is. And let's look at their schedule. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. My computer is acting up. Okay, here we go. The Pats start off with Miami. At Miami, but that's truly winnable. Hold on, did I already do this? Yeah, I might have done this already. Hold up. No, I didn't. Okay, so let's. Okay. So let's give me from the. The Dolphins schedule eerily similar to the Patriots schedule for a minute. Miami going down to South Florida that early in the year for a game could be tricky, but I think they can win it. I think they can beat Pittsburgh. Baltimore might be difficult with Lamar Jackson and with everyone recovering from injuries from last year. So I'm gonna say they lose that one, which makes them 2-1. I'm going to say they beat Green Bay because I don't think Green Bay will have their offense figured out by then, because then it will still be relatively early in the season. So I think they lose that one to make them 3-2. Then they have Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago, and the Jets. I think they win all four of them to go 7-2. Indianapolis, that might be difficult. So I'm gonna say they lose that one to go 7-3. The Jets will beat again to go 8-3. Minnesota they should be able to beat to go 9-3. I'm going to say they lose to Buffalo. That makes them 9-4. And I'm going to say they beat Arizona because I don't believe in Kyler Murray as a quarterback quite yet. So that makes them 10-4. I'm going to say they lose to Vegas to make them 10-5. And I'm going to say they split their final 2 games with Miami and Buffalo beating Miami and losing to Buffalo to make them 11-6. So, without further ado, let's look at the Bills, the final team in our AFC East preview. Sorry about this, guys. Just readjusting the wheelchair here, making it a bit more comfortable on myself. So, let's look at the Bills schedule. And we're gonna go all the way down. And right, they open up with Los Angeles, the NFC team from Los Angeles. that's the Thursday night game. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say they get up for that and win it. So that puts them at 1-0. And then they have Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. All four of those games I can easily see them winning, especially the Tennessee one without with Tennessee without AJ Brown. So that puts them at 5-0. And then the Kansas City and Green Bay games, I'm going to have them split them. Losing to Kansas City and beating Green Bay. So that's going to put my record for them at 6-1. Through 7, and then they have the Jets, the Vikings, the Browns, and the Lions. I see them winning all of them, so that puts them at 11-1. And then they have New England. I can see them losing that one, so that puts them at 11-2. They're going to beat the Jets again, so that's 12-2. Say they beat Miami again, so that's 13-2. Chicago, that's 14. And 2 through week 16. And by then they should have the division wrapped up. So that's 13-2 heading into Cincinnati. So I don't think they'll have anything to play for in that game. So I can see them losing that one. And I could also see them losing to the Patriots the end of the season. So I have them going 13-4, which would obviously win them the division, followed by the Patriots. I believe I had them going 11-6. which quite honestly could be a wild card spot. And probably should be. Uh, then I have Fins at either 8 and 9 or 9 and 8, depending on how good San Francisco is, which may or may not be a wild card spot. Depending on how everything else shapes out or shakes out or shapes up, depending on what your favorite reference is. But anyway, I have Miami 8 and 9 or 9 and 8, which, like I said, is borderline for a playoff spot, depending on what happens in the rest of the conference. And bringing up the rear with only 2 wins that I can see are the hapless and utterly hopeless and helpless New York Jets. So I have the Bills, Pats, Dolphins, and Jets in that order. I think Buffalo and Cincinnati will be your 1 seed, battling for your 1 seed. I think Buffalo has the slight edge for that 1 seed. But we'll see if I'm right. And this is going to do it for your AFC preview, AFC East preview for the 2022-2023 season. Like, share, and subscribe, and please watch it. Bye for now.